Hi, welcome to our podcast, Above Deck, a below deck breakdown podcast. I'm Sarah Goldman, a photographer and former marine biologist living in Charleston, and with me is my fabulous co-host, Kelly.
I'm Kelly Busby, an executive assistant and former radio host living in Columbus. Together, we hosted the Socks with Sandals radio show on WFAL in Bowling Green, Ohio, and we have come back together to discuss our love of all things Bravo and, of course, Below Deck.
Each week, we recap an episode of Below Deck, share a few laughs with the captain and crew, and discuss what's new in the Below Deck universe.
Before we get into Below Deck talk,
yes,
I have been asked by my nephew to take around his Flat Stanley.
Oh, Flat Stanley's still around, huh?
Yeah. So Flat Stanley has been sent to me and my daughter to take him on adventures. So here's his first adventure. He's on
I love
Below
it.
Deck or Above Deck podcast.
You're going international, Flat Stanley.
That's right. We figured just one quick swoop, hit the whole world. We're good.
Yeah, so, exactly. It's going to be like over 100 countries. Bam.
Done.
That's perfect. So, great idea.
Thanks for letting me break in.
So today on the podcast, we'll be discussing Below Deck Med Season 8, Episode 2, Too Many Cooks.
Here's your recap. Luca is promoted to bosun when Rune doesn't return. The guests spend some time in Portofino due to rough seas, and Jack wows them with a multi-course dinner. Natalia tries to make sure everything is perfect on the interior for the new Chief Stew's arrival. So, Sarah, what do you think of this episode?
Everything went a little too smoothly, in my opinion. I mean, it was great, but it feels like the calm before the storm. The first episode was so chaotic. Everything went really well, even with our temporary stew and interim bosun. It went great.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little like, what's happening here?
Yeah. So we pick up with Sandy just getting off the phone with Norma. It's the second day of the charter.
So Norma told her 2 weeks to get a new bosun. What the heck?
Yeah.
So my question is, where do we think Norma is based? And is she employed by Bravo, or is she employed by just the world of yachting?
I think the world of yachting. She must work for a company. Actually, there is an episode of Gangplank Report, the podcast that had Adrian Gang, which is not on anymore, sadly. But there's an episode with an interview with Norma, and I've had it in my listening queue for like months, and I just need to listen to it so I can report back about, but Norma does listen to our podcast and follow us on Instagram, and I should probably know where she lives. I feel like she might be based in Florida, maybe, but she's in the yachting world.
Love it. I love it.
So TBD. So it's very windy. The deckhands put the jet ski in the water, then they take it back out, put it on deck, change their mind. It's breakfast time, and Jack is not understanding over easy eggs versus over medium versus whatever. I guess maybe this is an American thing, all these different egg types.
To be fair, it can be really hard to make an egg over easy and over medium. I mean, that the status of the egg, the firmness of the yolk can change as quickly as an avocado can ripen.
This is so true. And people are so particular about their egg type. Like, I do not want anything runny. That like makes me gag. No, I have to have it like hard boiled. I don't even really like yolks. What's your like egg type?
I like to, I'll ask them, I just want a dippy.
Oh, okay. Ew.
Like if I toast. No?
Yeah, that's how Bill likes it too. And that's how I remember eating it like that as a kid, but just that runny.
Much.
Yeah. So Natalia tells us more about her relationship. They've dated for 4 months, and she said every guy that she's been with has cheated on her, it's really sad. And so with this open relationship, at least she's with someone that's going to be honest up front. And she thinks, it's okay to have a flirt with Luca. So yeah,
her relationship with that guy is confusing.
She's confused too.
Yeah. And that's scary in a way. So she fell in love with this guy before she found out he prefers open relationships. Like, that's not like something that comes out right at the gate. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But now she feels like she can't go back and say no thanks. And now she's trying to figure out if she should go after Luca or just sit back.
Yeah. I feel like the reason she keeps asking her boyfriend, like, have you hooked up with anyone yet? Have you hooked up with anyone yet? Because if he has, then she'd be like full steam
Sweet.
ahead with Luca. She just kind of wants permission.
I get it, but yeah.
So some of the guests are seasick and they decide it'd be better if they just go to shore for a bit. And so they load up on the tender. There's puking over the side. This is when I texted you and said puke alert.
Thank you. I'd already, but
And that tender is like really bouncing. I was feeling sick looking at it. However, this tender is very luxurious. It had that whole interior cabin, like cushy seats. It's not like any tender I've ever seen.
no. But if you were seasick, where would you want to be?
Oh, outside, hands down. You need the fresh air.
Yeah,
Back of the boat, outside.
Open sea to vomit into, just good to go.
I like how the one guy was like, do you have a bag? No, like Luca's like, the whole ocean is your toilet. Like, feed the fish, my friend. So they go to Portofino. This town is so lovely. I was trying to think what other things I've seen that have Portofino in it. And I thought it was the town in Under the Tuscan Sun, but that's Positano, not Portofino.
Oh.
But Portofino in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, you know,
Yes.
that movie?
Yes.
That woman gets on the train and she says, is this the train to Portofino?
Yeah.
That's the reference.
No.
Now we know.
But I wasn't sure. I feel like that's kind of an obscure movie, but like we love that movie at our house.
Oh,
I think
me
we got
too.
the VHS tape from McDonald's.
I have the VHS tape too. So you got it like as part of a Happy Meal or something?
I think so. Or like if you collected so many coupons or something weird like that, we got it from McDonald's.
You used to be able to get the best things from like McDonald's, Burger King back in the day.
Yeah, I still have my Beanie Babies from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to break that down in therapy.
Portofino is definitely on my bucket list. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I had to look it up on Google Maps.
Yeah, where is it exactly?
So Genoa and the Italian Riviera is on the west side of the top of the boot.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
And then Venice and where my family is from, Pordenone and Maniago, it's on the east side of the boot.
Okay.
So like close to Croatia and those countries. So I just thought it was pretty neat, like just seeing the different, but it's so the Italian Riviera is very close to Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
all that fun stuff.
That's cool. Thanks for that geography lesson. I feel like we need to take a trip to this area, to the Italian Riviera.
I mean, if we have to.
And we need to go when it's like the yachting season so we can like see some people that we know.
Right. Well, I'll start saving now.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we'll stay in hostels. Are we too old for hostels?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm too old for bed bugs. I know that. I don't know. We'll look into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the stews are cleaning cabins. Jack is prepping for dinner. And Norma texts Sandy and says there's no bosun available, but she has an experienced deckhand. Okay, that's good. So the deckhands are getting all the water toys ready for the guest return. And Kelly, they have a hot dog raft.
Yes. I saw that. Oh, I was so excited. And all I kept thinking was, oh, it will never be like it was on season 1 of Down Under.
Yeah, where they had to pull the guests off that island or whatever, off that beach.
Yes.
Sandy called it a banana, but it's clearly a hot dog, right?
I mean, it's yellow like a banana, but for us, it'd be a hot dog.
Gotcha. So the guests are back. I hope Nathan took some Dramamine while he was on shore.
Gravy.
We learned more about Jack. He worked in a Michelin star restaurant when he was like 19 years old. And after that, he moved to Asia and he taught people how to cook Western food and like learned some of their techniques there. And he said you can really see all of his travels through his cooking, which is very cool.
To me, it's just so neat. I truly admire anyone who could just pack up and go somewhere else and start and learn fresh, brand new. I think I'm too chicken blank to go outside of my little microcosm that I have here in Central Ohio for longer than a week, maybe 2.
Well, we're going to go for 2 weeks when we go to the Italian Riviera. I think we have to, at least 10 days.
Well, I'll make it work. I mean, I can sacrifice for that.
Okay. So Laura is on the swim platform and she realizes that there is a line tangled in the prop, and she has Haley come keep an eye on things while she gets in the water. Cause obviously if something should happen to her, you want someone to know where you are.
Right. While she was jumping into the water, I was thinking, did they let anybody know that they were jumping into the water to mess with the props?
I had this thought, like, just say it over the radio, let Sandy know what you're doing. I mean, the boat is anchored. Sandy's not going to just like turn the engine on, you know, but still, like, just in case.
Or like if the engineers are working on something while they're anchored, like.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would not happen without a lot of heads up, but still, like, just in case.
Yeah,
seems like
definitely.
that should have happened. So the interior is prepping for this multi-course dinner, and
a lot of plates.
Yeah, a lot of plates, but they have enough that they're not going to have to wash stuff. So that's kind of nice.
That's exciting.
Decorating. Tumi texts Sandy and she says that she and Kyle finally got their visas, so they're on the way.
Yes, let the fun begin.
Definitely. Or drama and fun. So Sandy is really impressed with how the deck team is operating, and Luca is doing such a good job as a leader. And Laura also comments she likes how calm he is. And so Sandy calls Luca up to the Wheelhouse and she wants him to be full-time bosun. So congrats, Luca.
So exciting. Congrats, Daddy Bosun.
Yeah, Daddy Bosun. So Haley is asked to help Brooke decorate for the EDM party. And now I know what EDM is, electronic dance music. We learned that, I think. What season was it that we learned that? Was it last med season?
It might have been.
Well, I learned it. I guess everybody else knew it. So she has no experience with decor. She's kind of wondering why she's there. And she looks so lost up there on the sun deck. And Brooke is slowly cleaning downstairs. And she's struggling with the pillows. And this whole scene was kind of hard to watch.
The level of awkwardness from everyone was just weird. And Jessica said, hey, I'm a raver. Like, I go to these things. Mm-hmm. So send her butt up there to decorate. Why?
I know.
Why are we calling a deckhand to decorate? It was weird.
That was an odd choice. So Natalia ends up having to run up there and decorate. And she asks Jessica to lead service for a couple courses. And she's very nervous about this.
Again, odd, because that's not what a leader would do.
But I think she saw how well Jessica was doing, like helping, but she was just kind of thrown in the middle of a multi-course dinner. So I felt for her. I understood what she was saying.
Well, and then they served the wrong wine.
Oh gosh. Yeah. They mixed it and they're like, you like blends, right? That was funny. So the guests are loving the food. Jack's killing it with every one of these courses, but dinner is not over until 1:15 a.m. You know, you and I would be very tired.
Yeah. Well, when we do our charter yachts, do you ever think we'll let it go until 1:15 a.m.? Or if we'll be like, this is how many courses we want to do.
Yeah.
When do we need to start if we want to be in bed by 2?
Exactly. I don't want any dinners going past like 10.
No.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta crunch some ice. I didn't mean to get ice in there. ASMR. Okay.
All right.
So it does seem like Natalia and Jessica are doing a lot more work than the other stews. So I kind of get where Jess was coming from when she keeps bringing that up. But, you know, they don't know what to do. So they're waiting on people to tell them what to do. So the next day. One of the guests slept on the couch, and I love how they were just vacuuming around him.
It's like what Mom would do on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to sleep after a night out, you're like, Mom,
get up, lazy bones.
Emptying the dishwasher, the loudest they've ever dishwasher ever.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jack has made quiche so he doesn't have to deal with these made to order eggs.
It was hilarious. Well done, chef. Well done.
The deckhands are pulling up the anchor, and it has a line with a cinder block attached to it. And Sandy says, I wonder if there's a body attached to that. What? Is this a thing? Is this a thing? People are dropping
Well,
bodies with cinder blocks attached? You watched those crazy shows. Sorry, say
in the
that
movie,
again.
in the movies, it is.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, and they put them in cement and stuff, but or like if they, I mean, in The Sopranos, they did that a lot, like to make sure the body sank, or like on Criminal Minds. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Got it. I just thought she just said it so casually. So this is crazy that Luca has to ask Jack for an old knife from the kitchen. And when I worked on deck, we were all supposed to carry pocket knives on us
Yeah.
at all times. It's a safety thing.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
sometimes you only have like 1 second to react to something. Like what if someone gets caught up in a line?
Yeah.
Now it's a little different because I worked on a fishing vessel, but
Right.
still, I feel like the deckhands should have knives on them, just like a
Yeah.
pocket knife.
Oh, and to be honest, if I was the chef, I'd be like, "You're not getting one of my knives."
No. I mean,
Huh.
maybe the boat had one. I doubt he'd give one of his good knives to like hack at a.
I'm surprised that they didn't have anything in like the lodge
Yeah.
area, like their little storage area. Even because it's right there, you can just run in and grab it.
Yeah,
So
exactly. They definitely need something down there. So
yeah.
they do get the anchor free. Now that it's time for the docking. This is the true test for this crew. And
Mhm.
Luca does great calling the distances. Everything goes fine. And the guests depart very happy.
Yay!
So first charter done. Now the tip meeting. Sandy is so happy with the deck team, and Jack loves how Jack did, how Natalia ran the interior, and Brooke is going to be leaving tonight or the next day, I guess, since she was just a temp.
Yeah.
The tip is $20,000.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
So I noticed something.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make a meme out of this, and maybe it's just me, but Luca looks so much like Storm from last
You think?
season but with hair. That's the only difference.
Okay.
But more scruff.
Yeah.
But I think they look alike.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, we're gonna have to do a side by side.
Yeah.
For sure. Is Storm Luca without hair?
Hair.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm on it. Okay, the night out. We have this beautiful dinner outside, drinks all around, and Natalia tells the crew that they will love Kyle.
I thought that was very big of her.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad she isn't saying anything about the conflict that they had. Don't put anything in anybody's head. So Laura keeps a list in her phone of English words that she learns every day. I thought this was really cute. And she grew up speaking Afrikaans until high school.
That's so neat.
It's very cool. She sure does speak English very well for not having grown up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, they go to the club. What was Luca's tattoo of that he shows Natalia?
It kind of looked like a cartoon character, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I watched it a couple times and I just couldn't tell. So there's some flirting between Luca and Natalia. They're really building this up. So obviously things are going to happen with this. Okay, back to the boat. Natalia texts her boyfriend. She's asking him yet again if he's hooked up with anyone since she left.
I don't think she's going to be able to keep her wits about her with an open relationship while she's on charter. Like, she just can't stop thinking about him hooking up with others. Mm-hmm. But then again, maybe she's looking for like an okay.
Exactly.
Okay, well, you got it, so now I can go and do it.
Right. So the next day, the chief stew is arriving today. Natalia wants the boat turned around before she arrives, and she feels like she set up the boat really well for the chief stew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brooke departs and Tumi arrives. I'm so glad to see her.
I'm so excited to see Tumi, and I'm hoping that we'll get to see some of her tablescapes too.
Yeah, I mean, that's something she and Natalia have in common. They both do gorgeous tablescapes. Mm-hmm. So high hopes. Yes. Natalia shows her around, and now Tumi met Kyle during the whole visa process, and it sounds like he told her that he and Natalia had ups and downs. Now, Kyle isn't one to mince words, so I'm sure he kind of let it rip, kind of telling Tumi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Tumi's coming in with these preconceived notions, and these two, as they go around the boat, they're already not in agreement about like where to keep the sunscreen, like very simple things.
This is not starting off well.
I know.
And Tumi's guard is already up because this is her first time being a chief stew, and it's on a big boat.
Mm-hmm.
So she's nervous, but she wants to hold her ground, and she wants people to know that she's the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got Kyle in the back of her head.
Yeah.
And Natalia is surprisingly just being herself.
Yeah, I thought Natalia seemed totally cool. And so they sit down in, one of the lounge areas, and Tumi tells Natalia that the boat reminds her of Harry Potter, but the organization is a real shit show. And Natalia says, "Excuse me?"
Yeah.
And, we saw this in like previews. Well, Tumi means the boat itself, not how Natalia organized it. I just overall felt like Tumi came in really hot to this whole situation, and she kept saying, "That's my opinion."
Yeah.
And I just hate that already they aren't getting along.
It's just not good.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Here we go again with the to be continued.
Do you think they're going to do it every episode?
I think so.
And I feel like, hey, Bravo, if you're paying attention, if you do something too much, it's not exciting anymore.
Right, exactly. It is kind of funny, though.
It is funny. It is. But it's just, and I wonder if it's just, because I'm sure they have different prod people for each one. So I'm wondering if this is like the Meds, like signature
move
thing.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with Hot Tub Combo. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from reaching your goals? Whether you have depression or anxiety, or you're just a human going through a tough time, therapy can give you the tools to approach life in a different way. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in just a few days.
And because finding a therapist is a little like dating, if you really don't fit with your therapist, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost and at any time.
So if you're struggling, give BetterHelp a try. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/abovedeck. That's better, HELP.com/abovedeck.
And it's time for Hot Tub Combo, where we discuss what's happening with our favorite Below Deck cast members.
Natalia was on Watch What Happens Live this week for the Med premiere, and these are kind of some of the things that I thought were of note. So she said when you get those certificates, it is stressed to you that you must carry them with you everywhere you go.
Really?
Yes. And let's see. She also said that she does not have a relationship with Natasha, her chief stew from last season.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they had a little bit of conflict, but I thought overall they were friends. Am I not remembering it correctly?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think they work well together.
Yeah. I don't know. But, I guess with the three of them, a lot of times it was Kyle and Natasha and then Natalia feeling like she had to do everything. So I guess there's conflict there. So she loves when she has an all boys charter because they mostly drink alcohol on the rocks. So there's not a lot of like crazy cocktails to make. Hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Unless they have a wheel that they're going to spin, I guess. Let's see what else. So she said Jessica was not happy about having to come down to a fourth stew role when the others came on board. So I think we're going to have some conflict there.
Yeah.
And she said she does not get along with Kyle or Tumi at this point, and she's still friends with Luca, Jack, and Laura.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's most of the crew. I don't.
Yeah, half of them.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, speaking of interesting stuff, so Ron, am I saying his name
Rune.
right?
I think Rune.
Okay. Rune finally broke his silence about everything. He said he was really nervous with the mics and the cameras everywhere. He said he never travels with original hard copies of his certificates. And after the show, he flew to Cape Town and got them and sent the show a video with all the originals. And with regard to his yacht masters, he said it was through a guy that worked at the school I had done my yacht masters with, and I asked him to extend my expiration date because of because of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So he paid a fee, got sent back, and got sent a front and back copy from the yacht masters with a new expiration date. And then MCA discovered if you scan the barcode, it comes up with someone else's picture. Was I scammed? Most probably.
This sounds so sketchy. So he's basically trying to say that he was the one that got scammed. He wasn't the one doing the scamming.
Right.
It's kind of like either way, this was not above board, this whole situation.
No way.
He's not trustworthy, you know? Yeah. One of our listeners pointed out that Ranger, be quiet. One of our listeners pointed out that every time Sandy would like ask him a question, he'd go, sorry, you know, or like pretend he didn't understand. He's just like trying to buy time, you know. Rune, I don't buy it.
No, sorry.
So get this. Remember Daisy's sister, Bonnie?
How can you not remember Bonnie?
So she's friends with Chef Jack.
Oh, get out.
I think they worked either on the same boat or in the same area, whatever. So she lives in Bali, or she's there now, and they had a big premiere party there, and in attendance were Luca, Jack, Captain Dreamboat, you know, he lives in Bali, and Bonnie. And I'm thinking we need to get to Bali because all the cool kids are hanging out there, apparently.
Obviously. Man. Well, but before we do that, Sarah, we have to go to Vegas first. So how are your preparations coming along for BravoCon?
Well, I'm trying to stay up to date with the current shows that are airing, like New York, Salt Lake City, Orange County. I do kind of want to go back and watch some other things. I need to make a list of what I want to watch beforehand. Are you watching anything? Have you watched anything?
I'm trying to. I'm catching little clips and stuff from Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Trying to get on with those, but yeah, I have in the next couple of weeks I'll have a little bit more free time. So
I'm almost done binge watching Miami. I'm almost caught up on that one. So
I have a couple moms at the volleyball games who are so excited about Mary being back on Salt Lake. So I really need to get on.
I just forced a friend of mine, an old roommate actually, to go back because she was watching Salt Lake, and I said, no, you have to go back to season 1 of Salt Lake. It's so wild, it's so crazy. And she did it, and I think she watched it in a week, and she's like, I just finished. It was crazy. It's so crazy. I'm going to take our shirts to get screen printed next week. It's actually not screen printing, it's called something else, like direct to transfer or something like that. But anyway,
sublimation.
Sure. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah,
that works. Excited.
Yeah, I am too.
With our new logo and everything.
We're going to be looking very stylish. And then I want to go to Lululemon and buy some more leggings. I'm pretty much going to be wearing leggings the whole time. Leggings and our shirts. That's my plan.
Okay. That's good to know. I will not be, but that's okay.
You going to wear jeans?
I'll probably wear jeans the whole time. Yeah.
It's
because I think it's supposed to be decent and I think we'll be okay. So
yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have our sparkly outfit on.
Sparkle.
It's time for our segment, Join Me in the Wheelhouse, where we decide who needs to see the captain for a stern talking to. Kelly, who do you vote for this week?
I'm going to vote for Laura for calling out, hey, I'm jumping in the water, messing with the props. Don't do anything. So that's it. Just a safety thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
I'd be curious if we get a chance to ask that question to Sandy. Like, should she have at least put it over the speakers to over the radio?
Just a heads up. That's all.
Okay. But overall, everyone was pretty well behaved this week.
Yeah. I feel like this is definitely the calm before the storm.
For sure. Tumi's here and she means business this time. And Kyle, Kyle's going to be trouble.
I can't wait to see Kyle.
I'm here for all of it. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Above Deck. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and tell a friend. Watch us on Hurrdat Media's YouTube channel, and don't forget to rate and review us 5 stars only.
Please follow us on Instagram at abovedeckpod. You can email or leave us a voice memo at abovedeckpod@gmail.com. So until next week, I am Kelly Busby.
And I'm Sarah Goldman. Thanks for joining us.